Could I do, like, infernal bats or something? That would
Sure,
be
you
fun.
can do small fire elementals.
So, Alex, occasionally we get comments on our YouTube videos, and, you know...
They're usually pretty decent comments, for the
Yeah.
most part. But it's YouTube, so it's to be expected.
I'm always interested when we get a comment on an old video that I haven't thought about in a really long time.
Yeah.
And, you know what? Recently, we actually had a comment that came in that I thought was very interesting. So interesting, in fact, that I wanted to look into it further. It was on our coffee lock problem. Now, I don't know if you remember exactly what the coffee lock problem was, but it was...
I do, because someone at work brought it up because they had shared something about the coffee lock with another friend.
Sure.
And I asked, oh, did you share our video? And they said, well, no, but that's because you didn't actually, like, go into detail of what a coffee lock is. I was like, did we not? I thought we did.
I thought we did.
Sure.
I thought, but okay. But at any rate,
Who knows?
briefly, it's a way to make sure that your warlock basically has as many spells as they want.
Without sleeping, right?
Without sleeping, yeah. Somebody recently commented, which I thought was very interesting, a coffee lock is, to me at least, a lot like a bag of holding arrow. If you have a player that can make it, go for it. But that spawns a question, doesn't it? What's a bag of holding arrow? Right? And so I did a little bit of looking around to try and figure out what this might refer to. The general idea here is apparently what would happen if you took a bag of holding and you put it onto an arrow, and then you shot the arrow, and you made a contraption so that it would then open the bag after it had been shot. So, like, you shoot... Yeah.
Are you shooting from inside the bag or shooting into the bag?
The arrow has a tip, and the tip is the bag of holding. There's a bag of holding on, like, the end of the arrow.
Oh, okay. So what you're doing is you're shooting it with the bag open.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah. And so
you're making a net launcher.
You're making a net launcher. Okay, so I have the bag of holding open here on D&D Beyond. It's a wondrous item, it's uncommon, has an interior space that's larger than its outside dimensions, roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep.
And that's the bag itself, or is that the inside dimension?
That is the... I'm gonna say that's the inside dimension. Oh, wait.
Because that would be a very large bag.
Yeah, because I'm looking. The bag can hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. So yeah, that's the interior space, isn't it?
Okay.
If I'm doing... Yeah, 4
Probably.
feet deep, 2 feet... I think so. Bag itself weighs 15 pounds regardless of its contents. Retrieving an item
Also,
from the bag
that's a heavy
requires...
bag.
It is, isn't it? I mean, not as
Yeah.
heavy as the 500 pounds you're putting into it, but...
No, but it's like holding 2 gallons of milk.
Yeah. That's a lot. But, you know, so 4 feet deep, 2 feet in diameter. So, theoretically, if I wanted to use this bag for, like, the death projectile that we're trying to make with this, you could hold a lot of stuff. I could hold a lot of ball bearings, or caltrops, or something in this bag. If it's overloaded, pierced, or torn, it ruptures and is destroyed, and its contents are scattered in the astral plane. So, it's not going to work if you rupture it, right? Like, you'd have to do something else. For instance, if the bag is turned inside out, its contents spill forth unharmed, but the bag must be put right before it can be used again. So,
Makes sense.
So we have to figure out a way where I can shoot the bag of holding out, not rupture it, but open it up so that my 500 pounds of death traps release out of it.
So that's what the bag of arrow holding whatever is?
As far as I can tell.
Is rigging it so you shoot it and it opens up and spills its contents?
Right, like I fire my arrow and we've got projectile now and the bag of holding opens and then let's say like there's 500 arrows in there and now they're all fired. They're all
the
projectile.
question for that would mean, are they just... It says it dumps them out harmlessly, but, like, if you've got 500 pounds worth of arrows in there...
Right.
Are they coming out at velocity?
Well, it says that the contents spill forth unharmed. So the contents are unharmed. They don't come out harmlessly. Like,
no, I mean...
They're not like a little kitty, like, just coming and patting your face. Like,
I wouldn't be using a bag full of arrows. I'd be using a bag full of rabid rats. Rats will follow angrily and scratch everything in the area.
Oh! Breathing creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures.
Oh, maybe not rats. Then 500 rats would be dead.
They'd be dead very quickly. Even Schrodinger's cat's gonna have a hard time, after which they begin to suffocate. Placing a bag of holding inside an extra-dimensional space created by a handy haversack, portable hole, or similar object instantly destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane. We all know this thing. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't cross the bags, as we say. But, okay, so we kind of get the rules of how we'd have to do this to make it work. We can't destroy the bag. We can't put it in an extra-dimensional space. We have to have the bag open, but have it open mid-flight while it's as a projectile. And I don't even think you have to do this with an arrow. You could do this with a trebuchet. Let's say you do it with like a catapult or a trebuchet and just launch the bag and then figure out a way to open it up and spill forth all of the contents like a rain of arrows down upon your... or rocks. Just have rocks. Just pebbles. That's a total pebble knockdown right there.
Exactly.
We're making total pebble knockdown for reals. Thoughts on how we could theoretically make this death
some
projectile?
Engineering device. Some kind of engineering
Thanks.
device. Yep.
Thanks for that. Any particular engineering device that you would suggest?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking engineer.
Okay.
You'd want something on a time delay so that it gets to whatever, or a velocity delay, but that's harder, I think, to manage. Some sort of spring-loaded mechanism, probably.
Okay.
So you crank it up, and then you've got like a minute, and so what you do is you take it and you launch it, and then what it does is just like unfolds and then pushes the back through it.
Right.
So that it just...
Yeah. There's another possibility. Oh no, you couldn't because it weighs so much. I was gonna say maybe if you had a familiar, and you could have the familiar, hold onto the bag and go up, but it's 15 pounds.
Sure,
so
you can just get a bird.
You could get a bird. Ooh, I could summon an animal at that point.
There you go.
Yeah, something to that effect, and then have them tip the bag out over the thing.
Hey, here's a question: can you put a summoned animal into a bag? They don't require breathing, do they?
It says breathing creatures inside the bag can survive.
Yeah,
so if it doesn't breathe,
a summoned creature doesn't, I think, need to breathe if they're from the astral plane.
I don't think so. I'm aware.
A big enough creature, it doesn't matter if it's alive or dead.
A celestial or something creature, or an infernal creature. Could I do like infernal bats or something? That would be fun.
You can do small fire elementals.
Small fire elementals, yeah. And then we don't even have to worry about opening the bag. Just let the bag fall and spill the contents out when it falls.
That's another way you could do it, is just have it weighted on the opening, so you drop it and then it just spills open.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a simple
It doesn't necessarily invert
thing.
Though. That doesn't necessarily invert. But it would open it entirely.
Sure.
So I guess you'd have to have something on the bottom so it lands and then goes splays out.
I would think that would be the easiest solution.
Gotta make sure it can't pierce it.
Yeah, exactly. You have to make sure that it can't rupture. And you have to be careful about the overloading part of it. Also, if you have summoned creatures, or like celestials or something, how much do they weigh? Like imagine a bat. Okay, a bat, if it's actually moving around, doesn't weigh anything. I guess it does have inherent weight.
That's not an argument we're gonna get into, because that's a physics argument.
Oh.
That I've heard before.
Also, 64 cubic feet. So we're still taking up mass. So yeah, that's not gonna.
So
not gonna help.
What's the argument? If a bird is in a box and it's flying, does the box still weigh more from the bird or not? It's like, well,
Yeah.
You can measure these things.
Yeah, this is kind of like where mass or volume might be a better way to actually, determine these things.
That's an actual, like,
right.
thought experiment. I don't know, it's an actual experiment you can do, though, probably, so...
Yeah.
I don't remember what the answer was. I'm pretty sure that conservation of everything means that if there are 15 bats in a box, but they're all flying, the box isn't going to weigh less because they're flying, because they're still in the box.
Fair enough. Like, me personally, if I could, I would put just my flying snakes in there and see if I can, and we could make that happen. Although I don't think I could realistically do many of them anyway, because, again, they would have to breathe. I think that probably a catapult. I don't know if the arrow's going to work. Also, if it's 15 pounds, the arrow's going to get weighed down pretty quickly. I think you gotta...
Yeah.
You need something else. You need a catapult, some kind of a sling, trebuchet, ballista, something like that to launch this out. But if you can do it, there's a lot of projectiles you could probably put in there. Even bolts are pretty small. I could probably put a ton of bolts in there, have them launch into the air. The way that the graphic looks is that it's kind of like a fold-over bag. It's not like a bag that has a cinch at the top. It's like a bag that has a fold over the front that latches. So if I unlatch that and put a weight on it, then it should at some point fly open, if we were lucky.
You just make it a different style bag. You just custom make one.
Oh, sure. Has a handle, too, so I guess if I, like, strapped the handle on and then pulled it back and then released it, like if it was in a slingshot. Then
yeah, there you go. Slingshot it.
Slingshot the bag, and then the stuff inside should technically get further away. That's a thought. I just basically want to do an arrow storm that kills everything immediately when I launch the bag. You can only do it the once until I get the bag back. So there is that. Also, you have to pay for like so many arrows. It's a lot of arrows. They don't store that many. 64 cubic feet. I think that you could fit quite a few arrows in there, and yeah, that's definitely more than a quiver. So maybe not bag of holding arrow, but bag of holding trebuchet.
Bag of holding slingshot.
Bag of holding slingshot. That's what we're going with. That has potential. If folks out there think that that's a good idea, let us know. And if you don't think it's a good idea, or that it's ridiculous, also let us know, but you have to provide an answer as to why. You have to tell us why it's a bad idea, not just that it's stupid. That's the rules. Them's the rules, folks. If you have any comments that you'd like to make on our bag of holding slingshot, feel free to leave a comment down below.